Hey everyone, it's Ezra. Listen and share love. Okay, this is a group I was asked to look into after I posted up my last look at my last High Cutie song I looked at, which I cannot remember the name of. I'm blanking. They asked me to look in this into this other group. It's another group made up of young female artists, and to a point artists up and coming, only because of their ages. They're really young, same as like High Cutie, you know, that age bracket from like, you know, 10, 12, 13, 14, you know, that really young age bracket. I think some of these are actually a bit younger from what I looked up. They're under a Korean entertainment company called, sorry if I mispronounce this, Clever TV, CLEVR TV Entertainment. They're a specific child entertainment company. They also debuted another group a while ago. I'm not entirely sure how long ago. Another young group. I think they're a fair bit older now, but they're another young child group as well. This is their second release. This is their shadow release. The group's called Pierce. From what I looked up on them just briefly to get a bit more info on, they're a little bit more into like that hip hop, R&B, girl crush kind of genre from what I understand. This was released on the 8th of February 2019. There's, like I said, looking at, they're a 6-member girl group. The girl group's called Pierce, P-I-E-R-C-E, Pierce, and this is their Shadow. It's their second digital single music video. So here we go. Definitely got that. Ooh. Ooh. Love the vocals. God, she's so young. I love her vocals. She's so cute. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. They've all got a very different look, but they don't at the same time. It's really interesting. It's also a good dance too. Ooh. Actually, she's really interesting, that one. Ooh. Okay, I was wrong. There's 5 members by the looks of it. Shadow. Yeah, vocally they're very interesting actually. I have to admit, compared to like High Cutie, their vocals are on a different level. They've got more because this group is more specifically trained to have debuted as an idol group. Hang on. as I was saying, because this group's specifically trying to debut, like, they more or less started from diapers looking at this lot, to be very honest, because they're just so young, some of them. The youngest member might not necessarily be the shortest. She just might be having a late growth. She might have a late growth spurt, but vocal-wise, they are very, very interesting. Like, the tallest one there, she had slight, like, bits of blonde in the end of her hair. I know mine's got a bit of blonde in it at the moment. It should be purple. I haven't gotten the dye put back in. Anyway, like, she, like, did the rap and that, which was okay. But then when she came back in towards the end with the vocals, I did find her vocals were better than her rapping, honestly. Like, it just depends on where she's, on how her training and that's going. I'll probably look at their, debut song later, only because I'm really curious now. Like, when it opened with one of them, she's got like the short bob, like cut to about here. Her vocals, like, out of all of them, they are the best. You can like, they've all have the good vocals, but hers really stood out more because she's actually got a bit more maturity to her voice that you can actually clearly hear that. Like, when a kid sings, especially when they get to around that pretty much between 10 to 14-year-old age, their voices really can change a lot the most for, like, a girl. You can see, like, the same song they sung when they were 10 will sound completely different to when they're 11, 12, so on and so forth. But with her, she, no matter what her age is, especially if, say, she's slightly younger than some of the others in the group, her vocals really show a level of just maturity and soundness. Like, honestly, other than maybe one or two bits I picked up, like, later on the song with her vocals, on, like, looking at her vocals, because, like, hers really did stand out because they've just got such that level of maturity to them. Honestly, she could pass for some of the artists that debut when they're 16, like, vocal-wise, she honestly could pass, because other than, like, one or two little bits, it really doesn't show that she is a very, very young artist. It really does not. She has such a level of maturity. Like, she said, if she had the vocals of someone debuting at 16, you could say her vocals are really good, but they needed work, and she will get better as she matures. But she's already got such a very high level of maturity to her vocals. It's really incredible. It'd be interesting to see what she's like in another year. I reckon in another year, she'll lose that last of that, like, slight childish sound I picked up on towards the end to her voice, and you really wouldn't be able to pick her from vocal-wise alone what her age would be. You really wouldn't be able to. You can barely pick it now as it is. It's just looking at her, you know she's a fairly young artist. Music video, it's really good, really high quality, really fits that whole shadow with the way it's filmed and put together, especially with all the different like scenes in that, how they all kind of melt together, and just how they've edited it too, because they've tinted some of it so they're showing up as white, or there's a certain color to it, then it changes color and depths and tones. Pardon me, but like, there's orange in it, but it's very blue, blue and black and white, and there's a bit of orange to it, but it really sticks with that whole like shadow kind of theme, especially when they especially with some of the editing, how they've overlaid filters and that to certain aspects of it to really give it that more of a shadowy effect. But this is really, really good. It's definitely it doesn't really have that it doesn't really have a girl, like, looking at them in the way they dress, they have that slight girl crush concept, but the sound of the song does not sound like a girl crush song, despite the fact you can hear that they are, like, you can hear that they're kids, but you can hear that it's got a slightly bit more of a mature-ish vibe to the song, and it really does work for them, especially the youngest one there. Just your shadow, like, using her for that bit, I think it really works because of her youngness, because it has that slight, this song is really interesting because it has a slight mature vibe to it, but it's not at the same time, it's kind of like, I'm your shadow, but I could be, I can be a kid. Your shadow, many people and cultures and that reference a shadow to being part of your soul, but it can also be a different part of your soul. It can be your childlikeness. It can be your adventurous side. It can also be your rat bag side, your bad side. So that's why I found real interesting with this. It really does work for them. And as I said, they all look the same, but they're not at the same time. They've all got slightly different haircuts, and overall their hairs are nearly all but the same color. But with the different haircuts and just the way they present themselves, even though they're wearing the same things despite the age and obvious height difference, they still come off as having a bit of a slight individual personality. But like I said, the one that stood out the most to me was the one with the most mature vocals. Like, her vocals might not necessarily be the best in another few years out of this group, but because she's got that maturity to her vocals at the moment, she really stands out to me as the best one out of the group. But that might change as the others mature and their voices develop, because you can tell they've really had a lot put behind them, especially training wise, especially with her vocals. I just can't get over how great her vocals are. Like I said, and the 1-2 bits in the song, you really could not pick up how young she is if you were just listening to this. And also, the dance is very good too. It's not too simple. Like, it's got a bit of good depth in that to it. But it's not super complicated in that as well, because with this, you also got to look at you also got to factor into like the different ages in that too. Like, some might not be so good at dancing despite the different age differences. Like, the youngest member might be really good, but the oldest member might not. But they've also picked something that really, it does fit the feel of this song. But like I said, it's not too complicated, but it's not very simplistic either. It really it really shows that they've got a fair bit of growth in that to do. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this group. I say I probably will be looking at them again. But yeah, like I said, I probably got a bit of some people might not like my reaction because I've probably got a bit of a very judgmental face going throughout all this. But that's because I probably was looking at this a lot more because A, they are so young, but B, they have got so many different points and aspects to them because of that age. So I'm really trying to look at it hard and really get more of a, trying to really just get a bit more of an evaluation out of them, like to see if there's anything that really stands out. Because like I said, I've had no idea what to expect. Like, I've mostly looked into High Cutie more than anything because it was just really interesting at the time, and I've seen them grow as artists, and you can tell their voices and they've matured in that too. But with this group, they're just something else entirely. They're a lot more highly polished because they have specifically trained to debut as idols. But overall, like I said, they are really different, and each one you can tell has real different personalities. The voices, you could pick them apart despite the fact they've all got like that childish sound to them, except for that one member. Oh, I just can't get over her voice. Anyway, I've probably cut this down a bit now because I think I've been rambling for a fair bit if you've made it this far. Anyway, this is Ezra. Listen, love, share the love, everyone. See ya.